What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here. Hope all is well. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. And in the comments down below, can you guys please let me know your preference for video length? Would you rather I do 10-minute videos or 20-minute videos? If you just want me to respect your time, you guys can watch it on 2x speed, get a 10-minute video done super quickly. I completely get it. But sometimes I prefer to do 20-minute videos because I finally get in my flow state and I begin tying points together really well. But to each their own. If I see an even distribution, I will simply just try to do both of them. All right, so this video is going to be a little different. This is not a hypey video. I'm not going to get a lot of views. I won't get a lot of likes for this video because I am telling the truth and I'm trying to show people different ways to look at things, and it is not going to be the, touchy-feely good stuff. So obviously, long-term, I have no doubt in this market and I'm taking big advantages, but I want to show you some ways in which you can make your money work for you more effectively, whether the market goes up or down. And I'm not going to get into, leverage trading or utilize, with margin or anything like that. But I just want to work on percentages and show you what's to come and some correlations that we've seen. And I would love to hear your guys' thoughts if you think that these correlations hold any weight. All right. So let's get right into it. So Crypto Whale, guys on Twitter, definite follow. He's been here since probably 2013, I believe. Early XRP investor as well. Just showing some correlations with Tether. And as we know, Tether is, and I do like Bitcoin, believe it or not, but Tether still is artificially propping up this entire cryptocurrency market. You are delusional if you do not look at the volume and understand the Tether volume exists, wash trading, and many other tricks that these whales can utilize. All right, so the prices you see are fake, the volumes you see are fake, but when regulations come, we will finally start building that ground floor of utility. So eventually the new high for XRP would be 50 cents, $2, $5, and so on. And the utility ground floor will rise, as will the speculative ground floor as it fluctuates. And all price discovery is, that's exactly what it is. Equilibrium. It is literally swinging on a pendulum, and I plan to take big advantage of these swings. And of course, market maturity, long-term investors historically will do exceedingly well. All right, versus short-term traders, because typically emotions get involved and you blind yourself. So right here, guys, from July 2019 to January 2020, right here, and then February to March 2020, we have two drops for Bitcoin, essentially the whole crypto market, because everything is coupled to BTC, because this is still a nascent market. I don't care if it's been around for close to a decade, give or take, if you want to include the other alts, but we still have a long way to go, which means, because some people see that as a bad thing and, oh, poor me, I see that as a very optimistic sign to take advantage and make money. All right, so the bull rally ended. And why did the bull rally end? Well, it is a weird correlation because we see that Tether was not printing whatsoever. And the correction here, 72%, different exchanges have different wicks depending on how you measure it. Across the board, you can say, 40 to 70%, maybe 80% drops at different points in time. Bitcoin, as he says, is being propped up by Tether, and the movement, or the moment they decide to stop, it will drop like a rock. So this is one thing to be wary of. And yes, I believe that, Bitcoin and many alts can do very, very well, but we know that there's a lot of data showing that we cannot rule anything out. And if you guys just watch channels that say we're going to go up, up, and up, you can do that for a few years, but you will be sorely disappointed. I know there's a lot of newcomers that they don't understand a single thing about the markets, and they came here maybe in 2019, 2018, and they'll learn. But, that quote by, I believe, William Blake, a fool that persists in his own folly will eventually become wise. And of course, I paraphrase that a little bit. So right here, guys, we have June to December, just as an example. I didn't really go to the wick, but we can see 50% there. And this is over, several months, of course, quite a long period. So you can't just say it was a crash, but it definitely corrected because it was gradual. Now, right here, this was a bit more sudden, in a month, 2-month period. We went down roughly 70% across the board. We saw some assets completely be, get decimated. And now, why am I talking all happy? Why am I acting like that's a good thing? And this is probably making you guys sad. Well, because I see opportunity, and I know how fast people can make money in this market when they are properly ready and on the sidelines. All right, so let me show you something here. Now, this is something, just a general question before I keep going. Now, in the coming weeks or months, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Now, I, don't want to upset you if I say, yeah, I believe that, the global economy could be in trouble temporarily, but so be it. And I would love to know, what do you think the mainstream media sources would say if a crash or a market correction occurred across the globe in a variety of markets? And of course, nobody saw it coming. sarcastically speaking, because of course we do. Would they blame, COVID and shutdowns? Would they say it's the elections or the results of elections causing, celebrations that get wild or riots? Would it be the DeFi bubble, which is equivalent to the 2017 ICO craze? Would it be because of Tether and all the printing artificially propping up markets? Is it even the US dollar being threatened? The actual reserve status against the BRICS nations in geopolitical tension? Could it be the Federal Reserve and their QE, their quantitative easing and printing? Or would it be regulations on crypto? What is going on? What else could we add to the list? There's some great responses down below. Some are pretty funny as well, but would love to hear your thoughts. And again, guys, when you post on Twitter or YouTube and your ideas don't reassure people, they don't like it. Most people don't. And I know there's mature people out there too, but I'm saying the loudest people are, the most immature typically. All right. So right here, guys, I wanted to show you this because I wish somebody just showed me this and I really understood it years ago. So this is the power of compound interest. Obviously, we know Einstein has said this is the eighth wonder of the world. So this is the snowball effect. This is like Metcalfe's law, which is Moore's law of connectivity, which is why I'm very bullish on RippleNet adding a new player to the network each time, or a new on-demand liquidity corridor utilizing XRP. People do not understand because they're often short-sighted or myopic, and they don't understand the power of network effects. It is not just +1. It is compounded exponentially, all right? So if you, as we know and we've talked about before, if you can double $1,000 10 times, you would get over $1 million. And that sounds crazy, but it is incredibly doable when you see it. And most people, they don't aim big. They don't believe they can do it. And so be it. But somebody that tell me it's impossible, I've seen it happen. It is very doable. And I just want anybody that's out there to know that this is very, very possible. So $1,000, if you get 100% return, which is just doubling your money, 10 times, you would have over $1 million plus. So I've shown you guys this before. And so we have starting off 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000, 16,000, all the way over to 128,256, and you are over 1 million. So 1,024,000, just to give an example. Now, you have to break down goals to make them attainable. At least in my mind, if it is too big and it's above my belief system and I don't think it's possible, what I'll do is I'll simply just break it down and turn it into a smaller goal to make it more tangible in my own mind. So if I go, man, 100% is way too much just to get out of the market and go from 1,000 to 2,000. Well, let's see, what else could I do if I time the market moves correctly? Let's get 240% returns. Because if I get, 1,000 times 1.4 or 40% return, and then take that answer times 1.4, I believe it's close to 2,000. I think it is 1960. So essentially, you doubled your money. Instead of getting a 100% return, you double your money by getting 40% 2 times in a row. So you can really break these goals down and do that, or maybe 20% returns 4 times in a row, just swinging the market. So I just want to show you what is possible, and that is simply even without, using leverage and margin, to each their own. But I'm not advocating for that whatsoever, all right? And I have experience doing, all of the above. Okay, so I want to show you this, and people call it greedy, but I just call it calculated patience, and there's nothing wrong. If you already have crypto and your holdings are untouched, there's nothing wrong with just waiting for better entries before you buy more. If it takes off, you have crypto, you should be good to go. And if it goes lower and you buy lower than you have, you get a better break-even price. You are dollar cost averaging. So that is all I am doing, guys. I go over this on my Patreon, and I'm really going to start kicking butt there. So feel free to check it out if you'd like. All right, so picture one right here. Exited my trading bag for Algorand, which is a crypto that I love. And people go, whoa, why did you sell if you don't believe in the project? First off, you're putting words in my mouth. I believe in this project, and this is one of those right next to XRP for me. And I believe that long term it will do exceedingly well. I understand the tokenomics, the company behind it. And yes, these companies, don't be fooled. They want a valuable network. All right. Algorand is right up there with Brian Brooks, who literally governs the US banking system. This is not some fake scam. I don't invest in any of those coins that are named after foods. All right. So for example, and I showed all this on YouTube too. So exiting the market, say September 1st, and I know I've sold up here too, as I documented on Twitter and showed you guys the screenshots. But if I sold up here, which I did around, 51, 52, 53, whatever, is probably just a bunch of limit orders, getting out, and we've dropped roughly 50%, over 50%. Okay. So people would be telling me to buy here. I'm an idiot. I've been name called. They call me clown, all this stuff. And I don't even know who these people are. I don't even know if they know how to make 6 figures, trading. All right. So right here, if I waited and I haven't bought back yet, and I'll probably notify you guys when I do. So right here, if I bought back right now and we even retraced back to where we were 60 days ago, I would double my money. I'd more than double my money. So I just want to show you what is possible with a little patience. And I know it hasn't gone up yet, but time and time again, we see these types of corrections. We know algo was, well over $2 in the past, just like XRP was close to $4. And these networks are being expanded. They're being built, and they're solving real problems at scale. All right, this is pure proof of stake. I'm not trying to shill it. Do not buy anything I talk about. I just want to show you what is possible and how percentages can work for you. So instead of me just trying to get 100% returns by only going up, I can be on the sidelines and enter when I'd like after a good retracement. All right, now right here we have another death cross coming. Everyone acts like that is always a bearish signal. In this case, I actually think it would be a bearish signal, at least in the coming weeks. But I'm not a traditional guy, so I don't like the traditional TA that most people teach, because that's right out of the book. Market makers know exactly what you're doing with, wave theory and all that stuff. I'm not that. That's not my style. So if you guys are looking for that, go find another channel. And I still respect it, but just don't push it on me. All right, so right here, wanted to show you this, guys. Anders L sharing this. So Visa, Ripple, very interesting situation abound. Nothing to see here, all just coincidences, I'm sure. So the sources are here, and I know we've gone over this, but I love how he puts it together for us. So I want to share these screenshots and definite follow X_Anderson. Right here, Visa's push into cross-border payments. Well, company, remember, strategic rationale, they had an acquisition for Earthport, which has been a RippleNet partner for years. They were fighting up against MasterCard for hundreds of millions of dollars to get this customer. As we know, Chris Larsen, executive chairman of Ripple, has name-dropped Earthport in tandem with Visa and Swift many times. Why? Because it is multi-currency and it has that hub-and-spoke model. This is a key player that Ripple would want involved. And how else and how easy is it to integrate at least RippleNet, the software, through a single API? All right. Now, I'm not talking about the difficulty of developing liquidity and all of that. I'm just simply talking about being a customer. Everything, all good things come in time. Now, let's see who else. Currency Cloud. We also know, we've talked about different areas, even in Ireland as well. This is a RippleNet partner. Real-time foreign exchange rates, more efficient pricing. And who else is involved in Ripple? That former Goldman Sachs executive, like a big shot, and he's over in London, which is a very interesting place if you guys know what I'm getting at. And obviously, he has experience and is working on building liquidity. All right. Western Union, we know they've trialed XRP, nothing at scale yet, but we know that that exists and there's no doubt about that. And then FIS, they are also RippleNet. So providing access to FIS 20,000 financial service clients. And we've seen FIS other places, and I'll show you in the screenshot as well. So right here, Currency Cloud announced a partnership with Ripple. We've already talked about them. We know RippleNet is able to go cloud as well. Roughly an 8-week deployment, all that nerdy stuff. And we have Visa acquires Earthport, and this was 2 years ago, all right? And you guys can go find the exact amount. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was, euros or dollars, but I think it was over 300 million. I think one of the sheets I saw 320 million. I've seen several figures, so I'll have to go see what the final number was. All right, and then right here, Ripple partner FIS and the clearinghouse joined forces to bring real-time payments for US banks. Now, what we have to understand is when we go to the clearinghouse, the domestic payment system, which is, going just like FedNow, all these groups are trying to make domestic payments faster, last mile settlement faster. You can go to the clearinghouse.org, you go to RTP, which is real-time payments. You can just go to about RTP just so you can check for yourselves. Scroll down. We can see participants, of course. We know, we got Citi, all these groups, HSBC, MUFG, RippleNet, of course, PNC, RippleNet. You can go on and on and on, no surprise. But what we'll do is click tech providers. Now, who are these guys that are involved? Ready? ACI Worldwide, RippleNet sends 14 trillion a day. CGI has an intelligent gateway, RippleNet. Finastra, the top 50 banks in the world, top 48, RippleNet, and they're a RippleNet partner. All right, we can talk about bottom line. We can talk about FIS, which was just mentioned by Anders. We have Fiserv, and then also Volante, which has a Ripple module. So I am just kind of showing you there are a lot of connections, and this is expected for a decacorn company, a $10 billion company named Ripple, to work and be the plumbing, be the infrastructure. All right, so not trying to be hypey, but the connections do exist. Now I know there's going to be a comment, yeah, but XRP isn't being used at scale yet. Well, hey, in February 2020, we did $54 million in transactions in over 10% or roughly 10% of all Mexican peso and US dollar flows. That is progress for me, and I think this would be absolutely the worst time to give up on your investment. And some people like to buy high and sell low. That is just not my style. All right. So, quote from Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple: "We're plumbers at the Economic Club of New York." All right. Big shots are here, politicians, wealthy families, you know it. And I know we've probably shown the video clip here a while back. And then also, Visa should be the pipes and plumbing. We provide the core capabilities at scale and consistently, and then let clients build on top of us. And this is what I want you guys to understand. So the XRP ledger, on ledger, we have the ability to do 1,500 transactions per second. Now, as you know, I want higher prices moving through. So instead of, $10,000, I want, big buys. Like I would love bigger buys of 100K, but consistently with volume, meaning I want depth of liquidity. So I want $100,000 buys, $1,000 buys, all of these through on-demand liquidity. And then I want high volume, high frequency occurring. And if you guys understand, once we get to 1,500 TPS, the math just happens and the order books get pushed up. That is just how it functions. There is net overlap, and which creates what? Demand at scale, ever growing with consistency, and it creates a new price floor for a higher high, and that is where the utility ground floor grows. Hopefully I didn't do a terrible job at explaining that, but just re-listen to it if you're completely new. If you're a veteran, I know you already get all this stuff. All right, so just wanted to share that, and you guys can go to the clearinghouse, and we're almost done here. So right here, guys, massive maturation of crypto market underway, says the Bitwise CIO. So I want to go over a few things he says, because I think this is very telling, and it is not just all hopium. We see what is being built in front of us. If you guys have watched the previous videos, in terms of banks able to hold crypto assets, why are they bothering to get the regulation? We have, FINMA in Switzerland. We have another bank able to do so. We know Brad Garlinghouse has even spoken at that Swiss bank, SNB, like all these conferences. We know many of them are RippleNet integrated. The future is coming, and I'm sorry that it's not as fast as we wanted it to, but patience takes a long time. All right. So right here, CIO of one of the largest crypto asset managers in the world says the bigwigs have officially accepted crypto as a valid asset to allocate, and it's just about to snowball. This is what I'm talking about, network effects. Things can happen quickly. Right, so during this interview, we'll kind of speed out through these points. I just want to read this quote. "You're just seeing a massive maturation of the crypto market. It is now acceptable for institutional and professional investors to allocate, specifically in a time of such sensitivity and uncertainty with the global markets today. The stock market going up and up and up and rallying 60% during COVID, as the cases went up and up and up, and now the stock market goes down and they say, oh, it's because COVID. Come on, please don't buy that. It's all garbage. They printed more money into infinity than ever before, and they act like we've had a good year just because we're coming up into elections. And I'm not blaming anybody. I don't care, politically or anything like that. This is the Federal Reserve, all right? So you guys can have your own opinions. I respect all, but I really don't have an opinion, and I'm sure that's going to upset some of you guys too. All right. So, and that's being driven by improvements in custody, improvements in trading, big improvements in regulation, and then some proof of concept development, like what we saw in the DeFi space, DeFi, decentralized finance. Now I'm going to touch on this in the next tab as well. So it's just the perfect market for people to allocate. You have these couple of big catalysts, and I think we're in the early innings of this happening. I think it's going to snowball from here. Interesting, and it is very telling to have all of these CEOs become very, very bullish. We have, Michelle Bond of Ripple coming to Atom as well, that huge association for digital markets, and saying that she's going to be one of the big groups to finally tame Wall Street for blockchain, DLT, crypto assets. That's what we're here for. So right here, it's been huge. Customer base, base when we launched, primarily high net worth individuals, 100 million hedge funds. You guys get the gist. Big things on the way, and I don't understand how you can. I understand if you're, bullish or bearish short term, but to absolutely and completely rule this market out is very, very, short-sighted for me. If I hear that from anybody, they just don't understand the value add. They think it's just Bitcoin, and it goes far beyond Bitcoin. And it's not just XRP, but XRP is going to solve some of the liquidity issues in the world in a big way, hitting the illiquid corridors in the correspondent banking market or network, There's just no competition. I don't see anything that can reduce pre-funded or eliminate pre-funded accounts, counterparty risk. They are not IOUs. It's just a no-brainer to me. And I want you guys to do your own research and listen just for practice. Listen to videos that just talk badly about XRP and go back and forth and just decide for yourselves. Next up, so we have Siam Commercial Bank again in the news. We know they're RippleNet. We know they're one of the biggest banks out of, I almost said Siam, Thailand, excuse me. We can talk about, obviously, the need for remittance. It is the Thai baht as their native currency. Now, let's go right here, because we remember a few months ago, maybe 2 months ago, we went over Thailand getting in the DeFi. Well, what do we have? We have the SCB, RippleNet partner we just went over, delves into decentralized finance, and they are backing Alpha Finance Lab in a move into DeFi. Surprise, surprise. So I know many people in the DeFi bubble, some people walked away with hundreds of percent of gains. Other people walked away with 90% losses. So be safe. I know there were some food coins, there were some good reputable products or projects, but a bubble is a bubble, so please be safe, guys. All right. So just wanted to share that DeFi will be expanding. Essentially, DeFi is just this catch-all term, just like we use liquidity as a catch-all term. Just understand this is just a means of doing finance in a decentralized or more distributed manner. Also to add, guys, obviously we have billions of dollars involved that caught the attention of not just us retailers swarming in to try to make money, but also the institutional players that build the very platforms and can build the very products that come sell to us. Some of them may be scammy, so please, please, please do your own research, do your due diligence, and double check everything. But there will be some great DeFi innovations that arise out of these products as well. So I'm excited, just as the ICO craze and the chaos brought some regulations and new ideas beyond just a typical ICO, the same thing will occur. All right. So keep that in mind. And to finish things off, guys, I want to talk about the Gemini exchange counting taxes in real time. So they just announced all trades will have their taxes calculated for clients in real time. Full disclosure, Gemini is not my favorite exchange. It is just a personal preference. I'm not talking badly about them. I'm just not the biggest fans of the Winklevoss twins. Why? Well, because they refuse to list XRP. They hate XRP. They just think it's a banker's coin. And to be honest, why would they think that? Well, I have to have empathy, because if I held $1 billion of Bitcoin like them, I'd probably feel the same way. So can't really blame them, but just wanted to share that. And also, iTrustCapital just sharing, it still leaves them the burden of having to pay high taxes. Well, lucky for me, I have one of my retirement accounts that I'm unable to add to anymore, but I have it in an iTrustCapital, and you can hold silver, XRP, Ethereum. You can even sell into US dollar. It is tax-free trading. So when I retire, I will have whatever I want. If it's XRP and it moons, and then I say I want to get out, I'll put it in the US dollar, and when retiring time comes, I can take out tax-free. I'm not paying 40%. I'm not paying 15 or 20% like most people. So keep that in mind. There's been a lot of people taking advantage of this, and it's not for everybody, but if you are on the older side and close to that point, this is a great option. So please check this out. I have the links in the top of the video description. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.